I'm Shimmer. I'm a speech pathologist from Broken Hill Health Service.
And I'm Polly. I'm one of the occupational therapists here.
This is the first of 5 videos we've put together that we think could be beneficial to educators and caregivers. We know that sometimes you might find it difficult to put words onto what you're seeing when you're concerned for a child's development. In this video, we go through what we typically expect at different ages, which can provide you with the language you're looking for when you're making referrals or expressing concerns. So what you might expect for a 2-year-old, you'd be expecting them to copy others, put 2 words together and follow simple two-step instructions. And you're expecting to understand them about half the time. This is what we call intelligibility, so how clearly a child is speaking, how well they're understood to people that don't really know them very well.
In terms of their self-care, you'd be expecting them to become a bit more independent. So they might start trying to feed themselves. They might start insisting that they can do things rather than wanting an adult to help. Their gross motor skills are coming along, so they're able to walk quite steadily now and they might still be holding on going up and down steps, but overall you'd be expecting them to be quite steady on their feet. At this stage also they can usually start to distinguish between edible and inedible objects, so you wouldn't sort of be expecting them to be putting lots of things that are not food inside their mouths. And they're also starting, just going back to their self-care, they might be able to unbutton large buttons at this stage also.
In regards to a 3-year-old, some of the things that you might expect, you'd be hoping they can follow some 2 to 3-step instructions. Get your shoes and go and wait by the door is a very simple one. And you're expecting to understand them about 75% of the time. You're hoping they're putting together little sentences to engage in conversation, and you're expecting them to engage in imaginative or make-believe play with toys and dolls. And by this age, you are expecting them to manage their own saliva, so excessive drooling might be something that might indicate referral.
In terms of their fine motor skills, at this stage they should be able to do puzzles with 3 to 4 pieces or even insert puzzles. They might start to be able to turn door handles or start to unscrew jar lids and things like that. At this stage they can run easily and climb pretty well, so again their gross motor skills are developing even more. And with their self-care, they're able to feed themselves simple meals, and with toilet training they'd be using the toilet with assistance, and we'd expect them to have daytime control around this age also.
With a 4-year-old, some of the things that you might expect in terms of their language, you're hoping they can tell you little stories, and you'll be understanding at this point 100% of everything they're saying. So their speech isn't perfect necessarily. For example, they might say wabbit rather than rabbit, but you're still able to understand them because their speech at this point is more consistent. You'll notice that children at 4 prefer to play with other children, and they'll do so cooperatively. They'll take turns and express their emotions, and they can produce a song or poem from their own memory, for example, in Sing and See Spider. At this point, they should know some basic grammar rules such as he or she.
Kids at this age can also start to understand time and the idea of counting. So this is happening in 2 days, or even 5 minutes. They should be able to understand use of a timer or a visual timer. That 5 minutes is less than 2 hours. With their fine motor skills, they should be able to use scissors and start copying some capital letters. They might even have started copying their name, or trying to anyway, and drawing people or houses, as well as some simple shapes. Kids at this age should be able to follow rules of the house, and also the rules in games with other kids, so back to that cooperation component. And at this stage we'd expect them to be toileting independently as well. So all of these sort of developmental indicators or milestones are taken from the ACT Early Know the Signs program, which should be in the child's blue book. And so it might be helpful to use the above descriptors when you are identifying issues to include in the referral. So for example, you might say, child has difficulty taking turns, or child no longer toileting independently. Just on that note, as well, one big red flag is if there is ever any regression in a child's development. So if they have a skill that they were able to do previously that they're not able to do anymore, then that's a big reason for referral, because there could be something extra going on for that child. So for example, if you had, a child was previously independent with toileting during the day, but all of a sudden they've started wetting themselves during the day, then that would be a flag for referral.
Along the same lines, if the child, for example, at about 12 months has, 3, 4, 5 words, and then down the track they actually lose that language, that's a sign of regression that could probably indicate further assessment. Another thing to be aware of is that hearing help is really important during development, particularly in regards to communication. So an indicator of a child having potential difficulty with their hearing is recurrent ear infections, if they're frequently sick at all. We actually advocate for all children to have a hearing screen, and we actually offer these free at the health service of the speech pathology department. And if anything comes of those hearing screens, you can actually see Australian Hearing free of charge for your screen there. Any questions, please contact the Allied Health Department. You can call us on 80801411, speak to Polly, myself, or anyone in the department. Everyone's happy to have a chat. Watch out for our next video, which will cover how to target speech sounds, which can improve a child's clarity when they're speaking, and behavioural management strategies covered by Polly. See you next time.
Thanks for watching.